I think I went almost full cycle of distro hopping in the last couple of days. Let me explain. A few days ago, I got a Lenovo ThinkPad T450. It's a fine little machine that I plan to use for browsing, editing, writing, stuff like that. Of course, I immediately went on with removing Windows 10 Pro that was pre-installed. Since I use Linux Mint on my main stationary computer, I wanted to try out some other GNU Linux options. First, I installed Void Linux, since I find myself keeping coming back to this very interesting GNU Linux project. On their website it says that Void is a general-purpose operating system based on the monolithic Linux kernel. Its package system allows you to quickly install, update and remove software. Software is provided in binary packages or can be built directly from sources with the help of the XBPS source packages collection. And boy do I like their XBPS package manager. It is so easy and fast, provided that you use a repository server somewhat close to your home. I use their European servers and they are blazing fast. It is easy to install packages with XBPS. You update the system with xbps install-su. You install a package with xbps install-s package name. You remove a package with xbps remove and then package name. There is also a command called xbps query that lets you search and display information about packages installed locally, or if you use -r flag, then it shows packages contained in Void Linux repository. Void Linux is a fantastic distro that is really light in every aspect. It doesn't use a lot of resources, it doesn't install a ton of unnecessary packages, and it has a quite small footprint on the hard drive. As you can see, I'm very fond of Void Linux. It's slick and super fast, and I'm sure I will come back at some point, but it does require a technical hand from time to time, and for this purpose of mine I really wanted something that doesn't require a lot of effort and a nerdy day-to-day mentality. So I decided to try some of Arch-based distros, but I didn't want to go through pain of installing Arch Linux, so I installed Endevour OS. The first lines on their website described me pretty well. Are you that distro hopper that always have been curious to try Arch Linux, but you think you aren't confident enough to do the install process and dealing with bleeding edge releases after install? Or are you already familiar with Arch Linux, but you're looking for an express install with a system that's close to your beloved distro? Yeah, I'm the first guy. Endeavour's flagship desktop environment is XFCE, but I installed Cinnamon through a very nice net installer. Cinnamon is also my desktop environment choice on my main machine. It was super easy to install Endeavour OS, and the desktop really looked pleasing to my eyes. It surprised me being a very nice little distro. I never before used an Arch-based distro, but Endeavour OS was really a pleasant experience. I especially enjoyed Yay, which is a Pacman wrapper and an AUR helper, I believe. AUR means Arch Linux User Repository. Pacman is of course an Arch package manager, as apt is Debian's and Ubuntu's, or before mentioned XBPS is Void Linux package manager. It's somewhat similar to Void Linux, but not quite. To install a package we use yay-s package name. To remove a package yay-rns and package name. This also takes care of all dependencies. To upgrade all installed packages, we write yay-syu. As you can see, it's pretty neat and easy. I found myself often using these commands while using the laptop with Endeavour OS. But, alas, as enjoying a nice Endeavour OS was, it required almost the same amount of maintenance as Void Linux. Also, while Yay was superb, I was also not enjoying compiling some packages from time to time. Slightly desperate, I began looking at Debian and Ubuntu flavors. First I installed Debian, but it really felt crude and unpolished. Then I went to Ubuntu flagship GNOME version. While there is a lot to be liked about this desktop environment, it also felt really bloated and heavy. Besides, I really didn't like Nautilus File Manager. Also, I didn't like GNOME's philosophy of not allowing files and libraries placed on the desktop. I know it is possible to change that, but still. Next in line was Ubuntu MATE. While I really do like MATE being a fairly simple and lightweight desktop manager, it did have some bugs, since I tried their build version of the upcoming 2004. Xubuntu was not my cup of tea, since XFCE really felt Frankenstein-y and messy, in my opinion. This is just how I feel about that desktop environment. I know a lot of people enjoy it. I'm just not one of them. Lubuntu was a similar experience. While being extremely light and nice, it also felt somewhat restraining and too simple. I'm also not a fan of Qt technologies and apps. So I was really forced to think inside the box, which meant it was time to come home. But not quite. I decided not to go to the flagship Linux Mint Cinnamon edition, which is based on Ubuntu, so I installed LMDE, which is Mint's side project based on Debian. It features Cinnamon desktop environment, which suits me very well, and it is almost identical to the regular Linux Mint. The only thing that I see missing from LMDE is Mint's driver manager, an easy way of installing Linux kernel within Mint's update manager. I like that LMDE is based on Debian, which means rock-solid stability, although it will probably mean somewhat old installed packages down the road, but it isn't a big deal, especially not now with availability of app images files for many applications. So all in all, I really tried many distros, but I realized that I probably belong to the Debian subcat universe, and in my experience, not many do it as great as Linux Mint. For now, my ThinkPad T450 will breathe Linux Mint Debian Edition 4.